this is Jill Ciminillo with Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and I am here today in California with a very special opportunity to do a sneak peek drive of the Kia EV9. And this is an all-new electric vehicle with 3 rows, and it gets up to 300 miles of all-electric range. Now, because my time was very brief behind the wheel, what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to tell you 5 really cool features, one thing I don't like, and then get into some brief driving impressions. So let's take a closer look at the Kia EV9 right now. All right, so my first favorite thing on this vehicle is going to be the lighting signature, and this is the welcome lighting. And when you walk up to the vehicle or you hit the unlock button, you know, the lighting sequence starts and it has like a little pattern and then settles on a little bit of a V here. Well, this is programmable. So Kia has it set up showing the V, but there are, I want to say, 4 or 5 different patterns that you can choose from, so you can customize what your welcome lighting sequence looks like when you walk up to the vehicle. And I don't know, I think that's pretty cool. I haven't seen it on any other vehicles, and yeah, that makes the first thing on my list that I think is really cool on the Kia EV9. All right, so the second cool thing on the Kia EV9 is going to be this right here. Now, this looks like the screens that we have seen previously in Hyundai and Kia vehicles, but it's not just 2 screens, it's actually 3 screens. You have a little screen right here, which is for HVAC controls, and it allows you to control the modes of where the air vents are hitting you, as well as, you know, the temperature. Now, you do also have some hard controls here, so yay, I also appreciate that. A really quick temperature change here. You've got your dual automatic climate controls. All of that just makes me very, very happy. But I just think the system is really cool. I like the setup. I like the large screen. I think they said it was 30 inches from corner to corner. But here's the kicker. You have wireless Apple CarPlay on this vehicle, and I think that is super cool because I haven't seen wireless Apple CarPlay on a Hyundai vehicle, Kia vehicle, Genesis vehicle at all yet. So I think this might be the first one. Now, you do have this haptic area here, which is really kind of interesting. I don't know how I feel about it just yet, but it does vibrate when you touch it, and it gives you some very good feedback. I like that you have map, home, setup, and you also have the very clear space to hit your media, to change your audio controls. My husband will appreciate that one. But overall, just this infotainment system, the screen setup, that is going to be the next thing that I really like about this vehicle, and I think Kia knocked it out of the park. I think it's really well done. Now, the third thing on my list is going to have to do with this right here in the navigation, and because this is a pre-production model, I can't page through, it's not set up to do it. But if you're taking a road trip and you're gonna have to have charging stations along the way, this will help you make sure that you get to the charging stations by calculating the range, and then it will program you to the charging stations along your route to have an efficient drive. But wait, there's more. This is the really cool part. So the Kia EV9 has a towing capacity up to 5,000 pounds. And we all know that an EV and towing does bad things. It really kills your range. But what Kia has done is they have hooked up sensors so that it can actually get a sense of and estimate the weight of the trailer that you're towing, and then it will change your range accordingly. So you're taking a drive route, you did have 300 miles of range, now you maybe have 150 miles of range instead. Well, it's going to route you to charging stations along the way based on that range and based on the weight of the trailer, and this does all the work. You don't have to do anything up here, and I thank you for that because I would get the math wrong. But I just think that's really cool. Now, the fourth thing on my cool features list is not something that's future forward or high tech, but it's just a cool feature. And so novel that I'm surprised that people haven't thought of it before. And it's the idea of having essentially a sliding console. And so this right here slides out, and then this right here can slide forward or backward and reveal like a storage space in here. And so I don't know, it's stupid, it's simple, and it's kind of cool. And I'm gonna call your attention to the fact that this probably isn't working as smoothly as it will because this is a pre-production vehicle. These are literally the first vehicles they've ever made. So I don't know, come on. I think that's cool. And then you can like set your phone here, book here, whatever. I don't know, maybe prop your feet. I just, stupid, simple, and cool. I really like that. Now, the final thing on the cool features list also falls under the category of something you've kind of seen before, but Kia has added a twist that we haven't seen, and that's the cool part. So they have a hands-free driving system on this vehicle. It's called Highway Drive Assist 2 Plus. And they have buttons over here on the steering wheel, and you hit the button in the upper left hand corner for activating your cruise control, and then there's a little button that has 2 lane lines with the steering wheel in the center, and that activates the steering assist. But it's not just steering assist, it's actual hands-free driving. And we tested this on the proving grounds going 90 miles an hour with the cruise control activated, and it held straight lines, it curved a little bit. It was really cool. The cool thing about it is it was very, very stable. It was more stable than Super Cruise, more stable than Blue Cruise from Ford. And I think this is probably, and again, pre-production model, and this is still probably the best hands-free system I've ever driven. And I really like that. But here's the cool part. Here's the thing that I haven't seen on any other automaker's hands-free drive assist. They have the opportunity when you hit the button, the lane follow assist, it'll control your steering while you control the throttle. Most systems want to take control of everything, but this lets you choose where you want the vehicle to have control and where you want the control. So I don't know, I thought that was cool. Personally, if I'm going to use the system, I'm going to be all in, and I'm going to let it steer as well as control the throttle, but I just really like the fact that they're giving you a choice here. And the fact that it works. I will tell you, we went up over 105 miles an hour, and the cruise control and the steering assist still worked. Again, closed course in a controlled environment, but the fact that it worked at those speeds and it was stable, didn't bobble between the lines, that is cool. Before we get into my driving impressions, it is time for that one thing that I do not like, and it is going to be this right here. I feel like the seat bottom on this vehicle is just a little bit too long for petite drivers, so obviously not a problem for tall drivers, but compounding that is the fact that this specific model has the recline feature, which has this leg rest here that, pushes out and allows you to kind of like slowly pushes out, but it pushes out and allows you, like when you're charging, to kind of kick back and relax and read a book. But the problem is this doesn't push under all the way, and so it hits against my calves, and it just feels a little bit awkward while I'm driving, and it makes me feel a little bit closed in. So yeah, that is the one thing that I don't like on this vehicle. All right, it is now time for me to give a few brief driving impressions, and I do mean brief because this is basically a pre-look at the EV9 in very strict conditions. We were not allowed to drive on public roads. We were at the Hyundai Motors proving grounds in California, and we're driving through things with cones and courses and things like that. So very, very brief driving impressions. And the first thing I want to say is this handles really well. It's certainly a little bit heavy. You can feel the battery weight on the bottom. You can feel the heft. This weighs between 5,100 and 5,800 pounds, you know, depending on your trimmings. But this is really comfortable. I have great visibility out of all of the windows. The steering, the handling, the iPedal, the one pedal driving works really well. I played around with that quite a bit and it feels really good. I can't wait to have this for a longer test, but the initial impressions are incredibly, incredibly favorable. We also had the chance to take this on an oval course where we had the option to test the hands-free driving. So this is the system where they call it Highway Drive Assist Plus. And this allows you to set your cruise control and put on the hands-free system and just drive without hands, feet, anything, and the vehicle does all of the work. It is impressive. I've previously sung the praises of Super Cruise, the General Motors version of the hands-free driving, but this was better. And the reason why is because there are two ways that you can do the hands-free driving. And the first is you can do the cruise control, set the highway hands-free drive assist, and go. Or you can do the hands-free drive assist and control the throttle yourself. I've never seen a system that allows you to do that, and I think it's pretty cool. It gives you the option of how you want to do it, and I really liked that. Other than that, I think this is very comfortable. It feels like a normal vehicle. But you do have that initial whee throttle that comes along with being an EV, and you put it in sport mode and the whee gets better. If I were going to sum this up in one sentence, which I probably can't, but I'm going to try, I would say the Kia EV9 is a comfortable, confident, competent EV that will take you on a road trip, be great for carpools, and be very comfortable for your family in every seating position. The bottom line, I really like it. I think Kia has a big winner here. Now, the last thing that I'm going to point out before I close out the review is, yeah, this does in fact have a frunk. And while it's not super huge, I mean, nah, it's not super huge. We couldn't close this. You can fit some stuff in here, and it's more than just my running shoes. So I will add this to my cool feature list too. It finally has a frunk. So that is it. That is all I have for you today on the Kia EV9. And be sure to check us out on the web at pickuptrucktalk.com for more information, where I will have a full written review. And I will see you down the road.